Happy Thursday, everybody. Let's go ahead and jump in. So here I am. I'm in my yellow tea demo store. If you've seen any of the Ask Waynes I've been on recently, you're familiar with, thank you, Leslie, uh, with um, with the yellow tea demo store. This is my demo store that actually has decent SEO because it's been online for 20 years, but I haven't sold anything on it in like 18. And so occasionally I get fake orders and emails asking how to buy stuff that doesn't exist. But I'm going to walk you through today setting up a fresh 1010 branch. That is the best way I recommend to start testing these new features without having to worry about where you're placing fragments and page builder code. And then Nick can talk a little bit about the end about what the best way to do that with your live site is. So here I am. I'm in my admin. I'm going to go to user interface. And as Wayne and I were just talking, we think there's still a lot of customers who don't realize how incredible the branching system is and how powerful it is. So here I am. I'm on the production branch. I have two branches here. If you've seen my multi-domain or multi-store webinar, it's for primary and then my blue tea site. But here we're focusing on the primary site, the yellow tea site, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add a branch, create a new branch. I'm going to call it 1010 staging. If I can type. And I'm going to copy it from this production branch. I'm going to hit create. I'll make it a different color, make it orange. Okay, so it's creating a branch real quick. And then within this branch that I'm now in, so you can tell which branch you're in right here by this. So right now I would be changing things in my new staging branch. If I switch to that, I'd be on my blue tea multi-store branch, or if I switch to that, I'd be on my yellow tea primary. But we'll go back to staging, and I'm going to go to frameworks, which is the key second step here. So you go to frameworks. Right now, my yellow tea staging is exactly a copy of this. In fact, here, let's look at it real quick. So I go here, I click it. Yes, Safari blocked my pop-up window. So this is the copy I just made, and it's an exact duplicate of the homepage. But when I go here for this branch, I'm going to go to the new shadows framework. I'm going to apply the framework. I'm going to make sure I check this box to overwrite everything. These resources are branch isolated, so this is not impacting the live site. And I will go to the top and I will hit apply. It'll double check I know what I'm doing. I will hit processing. Do it live. Okay. And then now you'll see I'm on a very stock 1010 branch. And yeah, I know there's developer hesitancy on branches. There's also a lack of awareness. And so I will also do a shout out to Nick. If you are a developer and you have hesitancy, I would strongly encourage you to work with Nick, get access to our Docker images, be in the Docker Slack or be in the developer Slack channel. These tools are designed to make your life a lot easier. So, but hesitancy is fine as long as you give us a chance to prove ourselves. So here we are. Here's my front page that's still on my live site. If you all go to yellowtea.com right now, you'll see this, but I'm now on this branch and you can see it down here in this corner where it says 1010 staging. So let's start with the fact that you can now do things in the global header and footer using Page Builder. So quick call out here. So I'm going to go to my storefront page. And here's the storefront page again on this branch. And you'll see there's a new icon over here that looks like a globe, which was not here in 1009 and previous. So this icon is any page builder tool that is global or fragment that is global. So here you'll see there's a global header, footer, and header. You might wonder why they're that direction, and that's because they're alphabetical, not in order of appearance. And let's say that I want to do a combination facet lookup on my homepage. So I know this yellow tea demo store is in theory selling golf products, but we'll add a year, make, model lookup. So I'm going to go to the global header, and I'm going to hit add component, and I'm going to find my combination facet component. I'm going to title it year, make, model. I'm going to look up. I already have, before the demo today, I had set up a combination facet called year, make, model. It finds that, and it finds it here. And I can now start customizing this information. So I will put year, make, model. filter by. I'll get rid of our lorem ipsum text. Actually, I want to show you something cool. Let's say I don't want to figure out how to find these things on the left. I'm going to show you the new page builder inspector. So up here, you'll notice there's a new tool here. So if you turn it so it's blue, this little arrow with your monitor, I can now go straight to the thing I want to edit. I can just click it and it will take me to where it's at in page builder. So in this case, I'm just going to delete it. You'll see it's gone. And I am now going to save. So now in my 1010 branch global header, you will see, oh, I don't think I have any data in here. You will see that I have year, make, model. Oh, I do. I have the ones we set up yesterday, Nick. So I have year, make, model now, and this will show up on every page, which is the secret of this. And so now you don't have to go do this everywhere throughout your site. It is just once and done. Let's also say I would like to add a newsletter sign up type form to the whole site. So I'm going to go back to my global footer and I'm going to click add component. And I'm going to choose the contact form. And so now you'll see this contact form is down here. Now this is a mighty big contact form and I don't really want that. I just want people to submit their email address, maybe add a checkbox to say they agree to be emailed. So I'm going to get rid of the subject and the message. I could add a type of field. I'm not going to mess with that right now. I am going to go into my layout. I'm going to change it to 2 columns. So now it's this. And I want to change the text. Never miss. That's a weird one. Maybe I bumped into a bug. So I'm going to leave the subheading alone and change the heading one. Never miss. Oh, that might be on my side. I think I'm having a browser issue. Never miss our news. You can't add a space here, Nick.
I think there might be
Yeah.
a browser issue with yours.
Yeah, it's probably because I'm in Safari. I would bet it works in never. I'm just going to set this to never miss out for the sake of this demo. I'm going to delete this. I will make sure Eric Forsman has seen that after we're done. Thanks, Karch. But now I have a way to submit. Now I have a thing that will show up on every page of the site for someone to send me their email address. Down here, you actually configure the subject of the email and the recipients. If you do not add a recipient down here, it won't go anywhere. So I'll make sure I set this up. And I'm going to send the email to myself. So now I would get an email if someone fills out this contact form on this branch. And I've saved it. And so now when I refresh this, I'm on my category page. We'll go back to the home page, but you'll see on my home page, I can now filter by year, make, model. And on the bottom, I can have a place to sign up for my newsletter. Obviously, you can edit this to your heart's content. You can add custom fields. You can really do anything you want in that setup. We'll come back to some more advanced uses of accordion, contact form, etc., and my garage in a couple minutes. Next, I want to show is Markdown. I see your question, Mark. Nick, you might want to think about the answer if you don't know off the top of your head. Mark Vasquez wants to know, how do you add reCAPTCHA into that type of page builder form?
I was literally just typing that question, the answer in there. We just added
okay.
it to the docs. I'll put the link in the docs for you.
Okay, awesome. And Josh, I saw your point that it was also on Firefox. I will make sure that our QA testers know that. Although I do like your solution there, Karch. So here we are back here. So the next big thing I want to talk about that's been added, if you're not familiar with Markdown, so there's a long history in web development and really no code style web development, not web development, where people built lots of different rich text editors, and rich text editors were notoriously buggy. They had they just had a multitude of problems. They had a lot of browser configuration issues. So it might look great on your site, on your computer, but it might not look great on my phone or someone else's system. So here, what we've done to solve for this, if I want to edit all this text here, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to configure the subheading for my site. So here's my body text. Let's say I'm going to go take it from the live Yellow Tea site. So, oh, I need to copy my own text. Oh, I'm on the wrong branch.
It's a link. You probably won't be able to.
Yeah, I can get to it this way.
Oh, yes, you're right. Yeah.
Okay. No, I don't want to do that. I'll switch branches real quick and I'm going to go steal my own content. So I go to storefront. And I'm going to copy this text here. And then we'll switch branches again. I'm going to go back here, back to my storefront. And I'm going to go edit this text. So, okay, so all I've done here is I've copied and pasted this text, but you'll notice this text has no rich text. It has no page breaks. It has really, it's very limited. And yeah, I can do stuff like I can go highlight this and hit bold. But what you'll see here when I do that is this rich text now adds what's known as Markdown. And if you're not familiar with Markdown, it is the now predominant web standard for rich text. It is what's the basis if you've used Google Docs or any of the online editing tools. And if you need a primer on all the things you can do with Markdown, just come in here, these three dots, and click Help. And here are the Markdown rules. This screen is great. You can screenshot it, but you can also literally just Google Markdown and you'll find this around the web. It is always the same. So if I wanted to, for example, create a bulleted list of the underpoints, now I'm going to change this. I'm going to put a star in here. Premium accessories, apparel. Yeah, I'll put stars for everything. Do I need to put page breaks on these?
No,
Nick?
you can just press
No?
no, you can just press enter.
Okay. For female golfers, I'll get rid of all my periods.
That's the beauty of Markdown. Before, we didn't have the ability to do carriage returns, and with Markdown, all you have to do is press enter, and it will have the carriage return.
And you see right here, it's already following me. And this carriage return got missed, so I will get head wrapped. So now you've got my bold text, my carriage returns, and then I can just hit save. And now on my branch, the Markdown goes in here. The other beautiful thing here is you can use Markdown in any text editor. So Word, Google Docs, anything. Markdown is very universally supported. So you can do all of your work elsewhere, and then you can just copy and paste it into Page Builder if you would like. Okay. Let's talk about how to add let's talk about how to add a fragment on the page. Yep. So what we're going to do right now, sorry, I was reading my notes. So you can create your own fragments. And so this is where it gets a little bit low code versus no code, but it is incredibly easy. So you go into templates. Nick, you might have to remind me to walk me through this section here. Fragments are under templates, fragments.
Yep, fragments.
Okay. Oh yeah. So we go to templates here, and you'll see there's a new tab here called fragments. So we're going to go into fragments, and you'll see it ships with three of them: global header, global footer, and the product list additional data. Now, if I copied one of these, which I can do, so I can copy my global footer. What you'll see here, since I can hit copy fragment, I can change this to global mini basket. And let's say I'm going to change the name of it to global_mini basket. And I'm going to copy this fragment. And I'm now going to view this copied fragment. And if I recall, I want to get rid of the div, right?
Correct.
And so
the div is just extra styling that you don't need.
Yeah, the div is extra styling, and since I'm going to stick this in a mini basket, I do not want a bunch of div stuff in here. And then because I copied this now after I'd already updated a an item into my global footer, you're going to see this contact us form, but we can easily take that out. So so now if I want to go add this to the mini basket. So Nick, what did we do next here,
So
Nick?
now you're going to go to global settings and you're going to find that fragment code in the global footer and copy it. So scroll
Yep,
down to your
no,
global footer.
yep. Oh, that's right.
This is the one template code thing that you need to do to do this.
Yeah, so I'm going to grab this one line here, MVT fragment code global footer. I'm going to copy it. I'm going to go to my mini basket and I'm going to add it at the end before the end of in the div, or was it in the div? Is that what we decided? Yep. So after
Within the
footer
div.
in the yep, I'm going to put it here.
After the if statement, no. So the
Oh,
closing if, yeah.
oh, okay. And I'm going to change this though from global footer to global mini basket.
Perfect. Yes.
I will move it just like that. Look, and if I can do it, anyone can do it. So put it here after the if statement. I'll put it there, and I'm going to hit update.
And that's the only code that you have to do.
That is the only code. So now we go back to content management, and I go to my storefront page, and I go to my globe. You'll see I now have a global mini basket fragment. Now in here, that contact form I mentioned earlier is there. You can safely just delete it. And then I could add anything I want here. So I don't have a component handy, say, for zip code shipping lookup, but if I did, I could add it. But I'm just going to add a quick hello world. I think that's what we did yesterday. So I'll just do this, and I'll do hello world. Check out now. I'll take out all this lorem ipsum. I'm going to save it. And then now I'm going to go throw something in my cart. I got to find a product. Oh, those are sold out always here. I'll go add something to the, I'll use my year make model. Oh yeah, I want to show them that you can now do selective year make model lookup. Come back to that in a second. So I'm going to go add an umbrella to my cart. And then now in my mini cart, which pops up here, you'll see down here, it says checkout world, hello now. Now, obviously you're not going to do a hello world checkout now to your mini cart, but you can literally put anything there. And so you can take any page builder component, any flex component, you can take a custom flex component and you can add it to your mini basket for really, really simple advanced tools that you can execute on here. I am going to show real quick. One of the things we added in year make model now is I can now go into my components. I'll delete this because I don't really want it to say hello world in my global mini basket. I'm going to go to my global header. I'm going to go into your make model. And down here was under application settings, wasn't it, Nick? Or was it under advanced? Under advanced.
Correct. Yes. Yeah.
So how do I change this to
optional drop downs? Yep.
Okay. Yeah. So let's go back here for a quick second. So let's say you want people to be able to not have to choose all the things for your make model. Let's just say you want to be able to have them search for anything that was from 2021 and for Jeep, but I didn't really want to choose a model. You can now limit it to that. So under optional dropdowns, I just choose last two. I hit save. And then now I have the ability from the homepage to do partial year make model lookups and submit them, which did not happen, which when we did the year make model tool Ask Wayne webinar about a month ago, that was not the case. And so I can now do partial year make model. It really is a great tool. And obviously, you know, Sometimes when we demonstrate things, like years ago, we used to have a demo kayak store that we would use for the sales process, and then inevitably someone would say, "But I don't sell kayaks." So there is a bit of theater of the mind here. I'm asking you to think about how you're going to use this in your own store. This could be my closet, my garage, my washing machine. This can be literally anything. It's really if you have two or more levels of choices to make to filter through the right set of products. Let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling. I want to talk about the accordion, the product list, and my garage. So, yeah. So, Josh, you could add a search string related element to the mini basket. That is correct. Nick's typing a more detailed answer. So, um, so we're back here. We're back in content management. And the next thing I want to call out is the accordion menu. So let's go to your frequently asked questions page. So if you now go to Page Builder for frequently asked questions, you will find this isn't in the is it not in the global, right, Nick? It's just in here.
Correct. Yeah, it's just in the
Yep.
normal sequence.
So you will find in the normal sequence, the entire accordion component is in here, and you can build accordion menus throughout your site using Page Builder. So if I want to return my purchase, I can put I don't accept returns since this isn't an actual store. Stop buying order things. I can make it extra bold by so I can make it bold and italic even. You'll see the markdown pop in. And so you can now control your accordion through your sequence. And you can choose if you want to expand these by default or not. So you'll see that they're automatically expanded. And so this is really this is one of those really simple, easy things that is very nice. And so now when I save that and I go to my FAQ and my footer, you will see all of this. And so again, this is all designed. Everything we're doing in Page Builder, if you haven't totally figured out where we're going, everything we're doing in Page Builder is such that we're trying to separate the architectural layer from the daily maintenance and marketing layer. And so, for many customers, they won't need a web developer necessarily at the front end. They will probably just need more of a graphic designer if they want to use the stock templates. However, web development is not going anywhere. The idea here is to have web developers working on the actual technical challenges, and then having a marketing person who's not in need of either spending money or, more importantly, spending time on a web developer to change these things. So contact form I addressed a little bit, but let's go back here. And let's say, did we already not natively add one on the contact us page, Nick?
Correct.
Yeah.
It's under.
So so the contact us page now has is now using our native contact form. So this is a great place to start. And Nick, you answered the question about adding recapture here to make sure it's not spammed.
Correct. There's a link in the chat.
Okay, awesome. So there's a link in the chat here, but you can customize this any which way you want, up to and including. You can do regex for validation. You have a lot of control here, and then you'll also notice you have field types here. And so you have, this is very similar logically under the hood to how custom fields works. You really have the ability, if I want to ask you to submit your URL, it will force a URL validation. Same with email, same with phone number. You'll see here on phone number, you can then choose how you want the phone number to display. So this is a really nice feature that, again, it's something that hasn't been hard technologically, but it's something that often required someone who understood how to do this in HTML. Now it's all point and click, no coding required. Anything you want to add about the contact form before I move on to product list, Nick?
No, you did a good job of nailing all the points.
Okay, thanks. He has to say that. He works for me. Next, I want to talk about, and this is probably, it's hard to say what the most important thing in 10.10 is as far as Page Builder, because 10.10 is very much a Page Builder focused release. It's hard to say if Markdown is going to be the most important thing just because of its ubiquity. But we have now added the product list to the pages here, which then gives you a lot of control over things like your category page, your search results page. So let's start with the category page. So you'll now see category display is here under Page Builder. And you'll now see I've got my facets over here, and I've got my product card here. And if I click into this, I can now control the look and feel of the category results all from right here. And so this was probably the biggest technological lift to make all of this page builder worthy, but this is a really incredible spot. So I can change the image I'm going to show. I can change the dimensions. I can change how it's going to handle the image. I can change what I want to show under here, the name, the price. I can add things. I can add custom fields. And so I have a lot of things I can do under here. I can change how I want it to preview. I can change what I want the preview in here to be. So let's say this is the wrong catalog. I want to look at my ball markers catalog. I think I have to save that. Oh, I didn't apply. So I can preview things from down here and change this. This really, this is probably the most impactful tool. And the most important thing here is we're on category display right now. You have also additional advanced options under here, but we're on category display, but this also works on search results. So you get the same tools here, as well as product list, which is very similar to a search results page. And then if I recall, we discussed something, there's something you can change some of the product display items too, right?
Correct. The related products list is associated with the
Yep.
product list layout. But
So
there
I
are
don't
no
have
related products for this one. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any related products, but if you have related products in your store, the native related products, you can now control the look and feel of the related products all from Page Builder. So, can facets be set with the scroll bar when there are a lot of facets? Nick, when you say set with the scroll bar, you mean to follow the scroll?
You should be able to do that with CSS.
Yeah, you can definitely
just a
do it. Whether
styling.
it's just styling. Whether it's a totally no code styling, I don't know off the top of my head. Thank you, Mason Johnson. The other thing I'll talk about here before we move on to my garage is the again, if you can envision where we're going here, the next major things for Page Builder. If I had to say it today, I would say Page Builder gives you a 65% no code, low code experience in Miva. And we're certainly aiming for a 95 to 100% low code, no code experience. I have recently used our competitors' products, and I find ours to be far easier to use and, more importantly, far more powerful. And so what's coming in between now and I think most of this will be closer to Camp Miva, not this year, as there's not much time before the holidays, is we'll be releasing a style guide tool. So the style guide tool will allow you to set styles like fonts and colors that flow through all of the page builder experience, so that your web developer or graphic designer can really design the look and feel, and then the marketing person has more guardrails to keep them from hurting your design and look and feel and making everything's consistent. And then last but not least will be the product display page. And as time goes on, virtually every page will be in Page Builder. There will be some exceptions around checkout flow, both for data security and other things, but not counting checkout flow, virtually everything will be designed to be managed first and foremost from this layer going forward. Okay, let's roll into.
I want to point out one last thing about the product list. For the product card, if there's extra functionality that you have displayed that you want conditional statements, you have the ability to add a fragment in there. As you can see, it says additional data fragment. So if you have some sort of customized information that you need displayed there, you can talk to your developer about creating a fragment, and then those fragments can be added to these display cards as well. Stuff like ratings, review stars, and things like that.
Awesome. Let's roll on to my garage. So the my garage feature, in case you've never used a my garage feature, is, let's say I'm here and I have a customer account. I'm gonna go ahead and empty my cart real quick. Actually, I guess it doesn't matter, but I'm being pedantic. Okay, so let's say right now I'm not logged in, so I don't have a customer account live, and so I can go choose 2021 Jeep Wrangler, so I can only see parts and products that fit my Jeep Wrangler. And this is not persistent right now. It will persist for my shopping session, but since I don't have an account, if I were to leave or open another browser, it's not going to know who I am. So this information is not going to follow. So some of our larger customers, DPP with Josh is on the line. You have huge catalogs of products. You're selling things that very specifically need to fit the right thing. And once you know that I have a 2021 Jeep Wrangler, it's probably ideal for you to show me those items first and foremost. So I'm going to show you what it's like to use My Garage. My Garage has been in Miva for more than a decade as a custom built tool using template code, and it is now a page builder first tool. So if I recall, the first thing I do, Nick, is to go log in as customer, right?
Shop as customer, correct?
Yeah. So it actually just works. We haven't configured it yet here, but so I'm gonna go shop as customer. I'm gonna find myself. And I'm gonna hit shop as customer. I'm gonna create a new session. So now I'm logged in as me, and I was playing with this yesterday. So you will see that it knew I had a Jeep Wrangler. So it changes the look and feel, but let's assume I hadn't done that. So now I'm back here. I come in, I'm in my account, and I want to search for a Jeep Wrangler. And I submit, and it shows me those things. And now it changes this. And because we're using the global footer or global header for this, it's going to change it site-wide. So no matter what page I go to, it is limiting me to the things that I want to see. And you can control all of this functionality in that global header. Let's go back to storefront. So here, under your make model, under application settings, is all of this. So for example, I have shopping for here. I can change this to my garage. But again, this could be anything. So this could be my closet if you sell clothes and I only want to see that I have size 14 feet. You can change, simple things like the submit button, but you can save my vehicle.
I just really
You can
how quick the inspector is.
Yeah. But you can also you can really get into the nuances of the My Garage application. And then as a shopper, here I am, I can add new things in My Garage here. So let's say I'm going to say 2019 Toyota Prius, although most customers probably wouldn't be that specific. And I can choose those things, and now it'll show My Garage for either item, as simple as choosing it. Nick, anything you want me to add on the My Garage feature?
You can add custom names to it to have a name, and you can also view it within the admin on a customer basis and a global basis.
So here from the customer, I'm going to go find myself again. Here from this card, under more, you will see, because I called it year make model, you'll see my year make model applications. And this is where I can see what I have in My Garage, and this is exportable. I'm reading my notes real quick. Accordion. I think at a high level, we have covered just about everything. Do you guys have any questions for me? Okay. While I'm filibustering for a second for people to ask any questions, either type into the chat or into the questions. Andrew McGibbon raised his hand. Just type it into the Q&A window, Andrew. Couple things. Nick, how do developers join your Slack channel and get access to a Docker image?
If you're a developer, then you should be emailing developer_support@miva.com, and I will get you hooked up with all the goodies that developers get. So yeah, I'll put that in the chat too.
Okay. Andrew, going once, going twice. Do you want to add something to the chat? Oh, he's typing. Okay.
And I'll just say we've been adding. There's plenty of documentation out there. I put some links in the chat on how to upgrade pages using Page Builder, on how to upgrade your store if you're not using Shadows 10.10 and you want to implement the global flex components. There's a step-by-step guide on the docs page that I put a link in there for that as well.
Yeah, and look, it's, again, we didn't get into it today, but the fact of the matter is using the sequence feature that you saw, using the sequence feature that you see here, right? So yes, now in the contact us page, under contact management, at the end of the day, we took the old contact us page and we added this as a sequence, and you can really control. Okay, so Andrew's question really is, for someone with a really old site, how do you move forward using page builder? So Nick, why don't you talk to how you suggest people doing it? Because that is a great question, and I think it's probably a common one for our audience.
Yeah, totally. There is a link in there that kind of walks through these steps, but essentially you're going to be creating yourself a new branch. You can create a copy of your current production branch, and then you're going to go implement these features onto this branch. And then when you're done updating that, there's a couple things you can do. You can merge that those change sets to the production branch. That's one way of doing it. You could also just create a brand new page in your production branch, modify that, do what you need to do, and then make that page whatever it is that you're trying to do.
Page.
Yeah, a live page, and get rid of the other one, change the URI type thing. But all of those instructions are in the docs, all those different ways that you want to do it. And if you have questions, our TAC team, our support team is really versed on those type of things as well.
Yeah, and look, if you're doing it all yourself, if you're a DIY developer, then definitely hit up developer_support@miva.com, and Nick will help you and get you pointed the right direction. It's kind of our guiding light right now is to get people using Page Builder. Question: can newsletter signups be sent to CSV?
No, we don't have that ability. It only gets sent to an email, and the current contact form doesn't have the ability to have any sort of upload feature. So you can't upload images to the contact form. You can't upload.
No, but it wants people who fill out the form to send it to a CSV. You'd have to have an email address that's monitored and convert. You'd have to use like a Zapier or something to monitor it and convert it to a CSV. Yep.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
Josh has got a question here. Once I have access to Markdown Page Builder, I'm planning to upgrade a handful of our current Jot forms specifically for returns. We have 3 types of returns, and I'm envisioning customer choosing type of return and corresponding each. Is it possible to use the accordion display with a form?
So you can't really put a flex component inside the accordion display. The accordion only has verbiage, right? You can put a subject and then details, subject and details. You can't like add a component to an accordion section. That being said, you could create a page that has this accordion functionality that's not using a flex component, and then stick a form in each one of those using sequence items. But you can't use the 2 in combination.
Yeah, and obviously, Josh, if you need help with this, let me or Garrett know, and we'll give you some guidance behind the scenes.
Totally.
All right, it is 10:40 Pacific time this morning. I'm going to talk for a few more seconds to see if there's any remaining questions. Thank you all for turning out. Thank you for coming to Ask Wayne. We will be continuing to do Ask Wayne's as we release products. Coming in, there's a 10.10.01 coming in a few weeks that'll have some bug fixes as well as some updates to shadows. And then there is a 10.11 coming before Thanksgiving that will include what we're calling high precision pricing and high precision weights. That is to be able to do pricing and weights and round things properly to 8 decimal places. There are a couple very minor limitations that I don't think anyone will bump into, at least if they do. I want to look at this that are tied to the limitations and floating point calculations. But I think, Mark, since I know you're here, you're going to be very excited about this update coming very, very soon. And I'll be in touch with our next Ask Wayne. Thank you all for attending today. And as always, if you need anything from me, you can email me at rwilson@miva.com. Yeah, more decimal places for prices. That's exactly right, Andy Webb. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Have a great weekend.
Thanks, guys.